Yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Morning mindset here, baby. Yeah, it's been a while, man. But yeah, I'm like super pumped today. Had a really good night's sleep, and I want to share with you guys a little bit of what I've been reading that kind of really drove home certain things, and I've been trying to understand it a little bit better. What I'm about to share with you, but before I dive right into it. I think it's interesting how when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to personal development, sometimes you hear things or sometimes you learn things, but they don't click the first time. You know what I mean? They click on like a head level sort of, but you don't really get them. You don't really feel them. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes that just creates very, very short-term memory, very short impact, right? So it happens to us all the time. That's why in school, when you learned X or Y for exam and then you forget, it's because it didn't really create an impact, didn't really create that emotional connection, and didn't really create those neural paths to really create long-term memory, right? And so yesterday I felt like that got achieved. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me share with you guys the three things to create a long-lasting change when it comes to an area of your life that you want to master, that you want to improve, and each of them have so much, right? And I want to be sharing with you guys more and more about what those areas are the more that I kind of study them. But the main three areas are, number one, you got to raise your standards, right? So in each area of your life, doesn't matter if it's your relationships, your finances, your career, your family in general, right? Like all of those areas have certain standards that you've put for yourself. You see what I mean? So when we say, hey, I'm content with this being a certain way, I'm content with my marriage being a certain way, or making this much money, and I'm okay with that. Your standards are there. Like that's where you put your standards. So the first part that it's like kind of hard for people sometimes is to raise their standards. Like a lot of the times, not even that they can't achieve it or that they're not doing the right thing. They just literally haven't raised their standards. They're just okay subconsciously and like deep inside in being that way, and being at that standard. So the first step is to raise your standards, right? Is to actually be completely change that blueprint of your life in that area specifically. You know what I mean? So let me give you an example. Say that you want your marriage to be different, right? So if you are okay with only talking to your partner X amount of hours a day after you come from work, or watching one movie, or just having dinner together, having a little chat, and that's okay. But you feel there's missing something, but you're just kind of like, that's fine. I'm okay with that, or that's how things should be, right? And you kind of tell yourself that story that like no, that's how everyone is, and like I guess that's normal, that's okay. No, like don't fall in that trap. Like you can design the life you want. You have the power of choice to really change and raise your standards in different areas. Like, no man, I want my marriage to be amazing, to be like super passionate, to be on fire, to be just like laughing all the time, and to be but if you believe if your standards are no, that's I guess how it is. We fight, and then we have a little bit of a good time, and then we fight again, and we kind of in this cycle. But I guess that's all the marriages, or that's all the relationships out there. No. Step one, raise your standards. Step two, get rid of limiting beliefs. Like this is something that it really took me a while to understand. Like, what do you mean limiting beliefs, right? So for everything we do, there's certain beliefs that back up that behavior that we're doing, right? So let me give you an example. Now let's talk about finances for a minute. If you have a scarcity mentality, and all you've ever taught in your life has been save every single penny that you have, so that hopefully one day you'll have enough for retirement, or make sure that you're only using what you need, because it might be finite, and you don't know when it will run out, right? Or never ever go into debt, because that's not good. And again, there's certain times where obviously if you can pay for something expensive that doesn't make sense, don't go into debt. But I'm talking about business in this case, more specifically, about something that it becomes a catalyst for something bigger. Like debt is only a tool, right? And anyway, I'm not gonna go into kind of risk opportunity and blah blah blah, but you know what I mean. Like you have a mentality of scarcity. You think that there's a shortage of money, and that you don't have all the right tools and all the right places to acquire more wealth, to raise your income. And that's a lie. That's a limiting belief that you have, right? And as long as you believe that, it's gonna be really hard, virtually impossible, for you to change that and raise your income, because you're gonna say, well, you know what, I don't think it's possible to make more money, right? And you'll either doubt your own ability to do it, which is those kind of like limiting beliefs, or you blame external circumstances, and you'll say, no, well, the system is rigged this way, or there's not enough jobs, or there's not enough money out there, right? Those are limiting beliefs, and those things affect your subconscious so much, especially when it comes to changing areas of your life, right? And again, that can be in any area, right? You talk about say even your career, right? If you don't believe and you have a limiting belief that you can change your career because you're not happy at it, and you can get another job, or you can change the profession and be successful at it, then that's never gonna happen. Like you're always gonna be stuck in that place, because it's just like it simply doesn't make sense for you, right? It like you just don't believe it. You're like, it just, that's the way it is, and so you don't raise your standards, and you have limiting beliefs, and then obviously all your efforts are gonna be futile, because like deep down inside, all those beliefs like are holding you back, and your subconscious like, no, you won't do it, and then you secretly believe it, and then back to square one, right? So you need to change your limiting beliefs. You need to start thinking in abundance, start thinking in your ability and the different resources that you have already in you that you just need to explode. Like I truly believe every single person in this planet Earth has something special, like 100%, and that if you achieve and reach your full potential, you will have something of value to give to the world, and you could have a completely amazing, abundant life in every single area of your life, right? And I get that sometimes life is difficult and it's not fair, and there's a bunch of different things that happen, but you can change your attitude, you can change your emotions, and that's something huge. That's something that makes all the difference, right? Because we can't change external, we can predict the future, we can't be 100% certain about different things, but we can choose how to react. And it all starts from raising your standards, changing your limiting beliefs, changing your mindset. And that's why the whole morning mindset, because if you change your mindset, you can react to the environment, and then you'll adapt and you'll pivot, and that will bring huge change when it comes to getting a long-lasting change, so that you're not just motivated and lasts for a day or two, then you're back to just like, oh, feeling okay, yeah, not bad, man, just just living, just making it up. No, man, like you truly need to change those things, start living abundantly, start raising your standards. And then finally, when you've covered those two, the third one is having the right strategy, right? But here's the funny part: when you've changed your limiting beliefs and when you've raised your standards truly from the core, you'll find the strategy. I truly believe that too, because there's not a lack of resources, there's a lack of resourcefulness, right? And I love something that Tony Robbins says, like, it's it really got ingrained in my mind, because it's so true, right? Like, I mean, we got the internet at our fingertips, we got people to connect from all over the world that are like one message away, right? So there's really no excuse for like not having the right strategy, because if you increase your output of actions, trust me, you will keep adapting until you find that strategy, and then it will just kind of make sense. But if your limiting beliefs are there telling you that you can do it, that you're not enough, that you're not smart enough, good enough, tech savvy enough, whatever it is, then you'll always be in that place. You'll always be in that place of like, oh, well, secretly I don't think I can, and that's why I won't put all in, right? Like, how do you think like people like Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Jesus Christ, like, and yes, Jesus is God, and obviously, that might shift perspectives on, well, yeah, was it God, was it man? But he was 100% man, 100% God. That's a different story. But to all my point with even mentioning those characters is that they went all in. They really raised their standards. They shift their beliefs, and they went all in, you know, despite all of the, you know, opposition out there and all the limiting beliefs from all the people trying to corrupt them and say, no, you won't make this happen, this is not possible, it's not possible, you know. So once you change that, trust me, you are able to achieve what seems the impossible. But you need to start by getting rid of those beliefs and stop over analyzing so much. Just do, right? Just do. Once you change that, just start doing a ton of action out there, and you know, honing in on the right you know, strategies, and just doing, adapting, keep changing. And I truly believe that if you know, master you know, your emotions and your states, and you master your beliefs and what you tell yourself every day, that story, you know, you find enough compelling reasons to do it, and you have a great, you know, casting vision that becomes your standards that you're raising. I'm telling you that you will achieve whatever you set your mind to. It's just a matter of doing those steps and truly getting rid of them at the core, right? Sometimes we just patch things up, right? So anyways, guys, I don't want to ramble too much. I love just rambling and talking and just sharing, guys, sharing with you guys what I believe and what's worked for me, because I truly want to have people around me that succeed, that tell me, hey, you know, that little thing that you mentioned really helped me out, and like that's amazing. Like when that happens, I love that. Like I get like such motivation and kick out of that, which is just gonna complete the cycle, right? So anyways, you know, I hope that that was valuable to you guys, and I challenge you, like, you know, what are some areas that you have limiting beliefs? Like, you know, examine yourself and be honest with yourself, right? You and God only, and really try to think, like, what are areas where I don't believe it's possible, that I've like set my standards too low, right? Or why am I not accomplishing it? Why don't I have the right strategy, right? So, you know, hopefully that stuff put some good thought into it, and you know, I wish you guys well. Almost the weekend now too, and you know, hopefully you guys are killing it this week. So talk to you guys soon. Peace. And I gotta stop this guy.